All right, if you're running an online business, I've got some news for you. And it might be a little unsettling. The playbook you've been using for growth, for getting noticed, for making money, well, it's obsolete. The rules have completely changed, and in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what that means for you.
So let me just ask you this directly. Are you making mistakes that right now are quietly killing your business? Because what worked last year, or heck, even last month, might be the very thing that's holding you back today. The stakes are incredibly high. But here's the good news. The rules for success haven't just disappeared. They've been rewritten. And we're about to hand you the new playbook. We're going to cover the 3 biggest changes you need to master, starting, well, right now. Let's dive into the first massive shift. We really need to stop thinking of AI as just another tool. It's not. It's the new gatekeeper, the main gatekeeper. If AI search engines and assistants can't find you and, more importantly, understand what you do, then your potential customers, they're never going to find you either.
Now, what's so interesting here is how it shows this fundamental change in search. We've moved from Google as an information engine, just a list of blue links you click, to an answer engine. It gives you the answer directly, right at the top. This is creating what people are calling zero-click searches, where the user gets exactly what they need without ever visiting a single website. And if you're not the source of that answer, you're completely invisible.
And listen, this isn't just about Google. A recent study looked at over 1 million ChatGPT conversations and found that nearly 1 in 4 chats, that's a full 24%, are people asking for information or product recommendations. They're literally asking an AI what to buy, where to go, and who to trust. If you're not the answer that AI gives, you just don't exist in that entire conversation. So how do you get recommended by AI? It really comes down to a 3-step process. First, you've got to create original, research-driven content. Make yourself the primary source of data in your niche. Second, distribute that authority. Get other reputable sites to cite your work, to link back to you. And third, you have to optimize for the bots. This means using technical SEO, like schema markup, which is really just a fancy way of saying you add a special vocabulary to your website's code to help search engines understand your content. It's kind of like adding price tags and nutrition labels to your information so the AI can read it perfectly.
Okay, so that's the whole discoverability revolution. Now, let's talk about the monetization revolution. It's happening over on YouTube, which is quickly, and I mean quickly, turning from a video platform into a full-blown media network. And this shift, it's changing everything for creators. It's turning your entire content library into a potential revenue machine.
So the technology that's driving all this is called dynamic ad insertion. In simple terms, it just means you can automatically place new, relevant ads into your old videos. You know that video you made 3 years ago? It can now make money with ads for products that exist today. Your back catalog is no longer a depreciating asset. It's totally evergreen.
And this quote just brilliantly illustrates the scale of this opportunity. This isn't just some small feature update, you guys. It represents a massive wealth transfer, moving money away from traditional TV networks and putting it directly into the pockets of individual creators who are building their own media empires on the platform.
I mean, just look at the difference here. In the old model, ads were baked in, they were fixed, the value of your content went down over time, and you basically got a one-time spike in revenue. But in the new model, ads are swappable, they're recurring. Your content value is evergreen, which creates the potential for long-term recurring income from a single video you made years ago.
So we've covered the big platform shifts happening with AI and YouTube. Now let's talk about the internal shift, the one you need to make. This is your new growth playbook. It covers the mindset and, yes, the math you've got to adopt as a modern founder.
This brings us to a few, let's call them brutal truths about the founder's mindset. And the first one, it challenges a lot of the modern advice you hear about balance. For early-stage founders, especially if you're in your 20s, the fastest path to success might actually require a season of being unbalanced. A temporary, super-focused sprint where building the business takes priority over pretty much everything else. And here's another piece of advice that sounds a little counterintuitive. Live poor for as long as you possibly can. But why? Because minimizing your personal expenses maximizes your runway. It buys you your single most valuable asset, time. Time to experiment, time to pivot, and time to build something that actually lasts.
So that intense focus and all that extra time you've bought yourself, you need to use it to master the math of your business. Forget about vague pitches. The new way to approach fundraising is with something called traction math.
and it often revolves around hitting a really key milestone, like $1 million in revenue.
So what is traction math? Well, it's really just a simple formula for proving your business model works before you even think about asking for money. It's all about showing with hard data that you have a repeatable, scalable way to grow. So, for example, you can prove that for every dollar you spend on ads, you generate $3 in revenue. That right there, that's a predictable engine for growth. It completely de-risks the entire conversation for an investor and gives you a clear North Star to aim for.
And finally, a modern founder uses that mindset and that math to look ahead. You've got to skate to where the puck is going, right? So some key trends we expect by 2026 include the rise of the individual empire, where solo creators build these massive media businesses, leveraging that YouTube revolution we just talked about. We'll also probably see Gen Alpha start to unplug, which will create all sorts of new opportunities. And success is going to come from monetizing the interest graph, people's deep passions, not just their social connections.
So, the crucial point here is this. Success today requires a three-part approach. You have to adapt your content strategy for an AI-driven world. You absolutely need to master the new monetization tools on platforms like YouTube. And you've got to adopt the focused, relentless mindset of a modern founder.
So I'll leave you with this. The game has, without a doubt, changed. The only question that really matters now is how will you change with it?